I really want to thank the organizers for this. Although I was supposed to make a PowerPoint presentation, but as you all know, one of the very important teaching of the Buddha is impermanence. So because of some impermanence, I am not able to present the PowerPoint program. But I would like to share my views, and although the time is short, we have to be precise. So I would read a little bit and partly say some of the things to put my views on pilgrimage. Pilgrimage, and that too on the revival of ancient Buddhist pilgrimage and its relevance. Friends, if you see the ancient Indian history, it was so vibrant, and especially the Buddhist texts give a wonderful panoramic view of the area where Lord Buddha made his charika, where he wandered and started teaching. As a result, a lot of people got attracted towards his Dhamma, which was so universal. And we have been listening at how powerful the words were, so that people got attracted towards it. If we see the scenario, we find the major part of the place where Buddha moved, it was the Magadha area in Bihar, part of the states of Uttar Pradesh, and no doubt Nepal, Lumbini, Kapilvastu. So this was the area where he made his sublime wandering. And even according to the Pali sources, we find that he traveled to part of what we call as modern Delhi, the capital of India, and Haryana. Because one of the very important discourse which Buddha gave was Mahasatipatthana Sutta, which was related with the technique of Vipassana, mindfulness. So this was the area where we find Buddha moved. We are very fortunate that during his lifetime he also showed us the places where the devout should go after his passing away. So he mentions about 4 places which is referred in Mahaparinibbana Sutta, the places where the Tathagat is born, that is Lumbini, the place where he got enlightenment, Bodh Gaya, the place where he turned the Dhamma, the wheel of Dhamma, Dhamma Chakra Pavartana Sutta, which he delivered, Sarnath, and the place where he passed away, Kushinagar. So in his lifetime itself, he showed us the basic, he sowed the seeds of Buddhist pilgrimage. One of the very important disciple, or you can say the follower of the Buddha, was Emperor Ashoka. Contribution of Emperor Ashoka towards the dissemination of Buddha Dhamma has been tremendous. And that's why we find around 3rd century BC, as a part of his devotion, commitment towards Dhamma, he makes pilgrimage to almost all these 4 places which the Tathagat has mentioned. And not only he visits those places, but he makes documentation, either putting up a pillar edict or a rock edict or a stupa, and we are told that he broke open the relics, the 8 stupa relics, and he divided into thousands so as to disseminate the teachings of the Buddha, both from the physical point of view as well as from the mental, from the spiritual point of view. And we find that it was during his time that the kingdom of Magadha, he takes pride in saying that I am the king of Magadha. The king of Magadha, the Magadha kingdom went from down south up to the Afghanistan area, and that too not as a fighter, as a warrior, but in the principles of Dhamma. He used Dhamma as a tool for his governance also. We are fortunate that some of these rock edicts and pillar edicts are still existing in order to show us our faith towards those places which was connected with Lord Buddha. And we are happy. Just in the morning we visited, the Maya Devi temple and the Ashokan pillar which is there. You can imagine thousands of years back, what an insight this person had to document those places where the Tathagata moved, where the important events connected with Tathagata took place. If we go further in this pilgrimage, we find that around 7th century, this pilgrimage, earlier it was for the 4 places which the Buddha said. Then during the time of Ashoka, we find a reference that he elaborated 4 more places to the basic 4 places to make it Atthamahatthana, 8 great places. So, the places which were related with the miracles of the Buddha, the important events of the Buddha, like Shravasti, Sankasya, Vaishali and Rajgir, were added to these 4 places which Buddha had himself mentioned. And we find all these 4 places as being documented by Emperor Ashoka. A place which is not known to most of the places is Sankasya. Sankasya is in India. It is near, if you know about the geography of India, the capital of Uttar Pradesh is Lucknow. It is very near to Lucknow, or near Shravasti, you can say. So this Sankasya is the place where it is said that Buddha, after teaching Abhidharma, came down from the heaven, and that place has been, we don't have anything, there's a big mound although existing there, but it is so disputed that, the archaeologists are not able to do any exploration work because, as the tradition, you find in most of the places which is connected with Buddha, either the Hindus, they make a temple or some mosque comes up, so, you are not supposed to work on it. So this Sankasya, there's a huge mound there. But because of Ashoka's documentation, we had this pillar which states that this is the place. So, all these places needs to be explored again and needs to be documented properly. As a director and vice chancellor of Nalanda University, I was there in Nalanda for almost 16 years, and I started making exploration, because as an excavation, for that you need to take permission from Archaeological Survey of India, but exploration you could do it yourself. So I made extensive exploration around Nalanda, and I found that there are so many places which needs to be part of the pilgrimage besides the pilgrimage which Lord Buddha or the Emperor Ashoka has mentioned. And for all that, I got big my work got appreciation mainly because of Xuanzang's travelogue. Xuanzang, who came in the 7th century, he elaborated the pilgrimage to a larger extent, and you'll be surprised that 80% of our Indian archaeology is based on Xuanzang's travelogue. A university called Nalanda, ancient Nalanda University, was explored and excavated based on Xuanzang's travelogue. And most of these sites which Ashoka mentions, we find have been visited by Master Xuanzang, and his documentation work is again very superb. He has given his sense of direction, sense of timing, sense of distance is so perfect that he has given a wonderful explanation of most of these places which Emperor Ashoka has visited, and also those places down south which were later on became popular connected with Buddha's wider pilgrimage. So what I am trying to say, that if we try to work out, on the basis of these tools of most of these the pilgrims who visited, many of them Chinese pilgrims, Korean pilgrims, they have given a wonderful account. So we need to work out and put all these things together. And what I feel is we should now think of an international pilgrimage where we should not only think the places where Buddha had visited, that should definitely be there, but besides that, wherever Buddhism has gone should also be taken into consideration, because as many of the speakers in the morning in the inaugural session also said, that if we really need to survive the humanity at this juncture, we need to adopt the teachings of the Buddha. And in order to imbibe the teaching, no doubt meditation is important, chanting is important, but what I feel that visiting the places which is connected with the life of the Tathagata or his disciple is equally important, because again, as my earlier speaker said, that these values, we need to inculcate these values again and again, because when we have gone away from these values and not practicing the Dhamma, we are getting into big crisis, big trouble. If humanity has to survive, I think we have to follow the teachings of the Buddha. Thank you.
Pilgrimage also links to tourism, which has become sort of the largest economy in the world. But then in this part of the world, tourism and the Buddhist tourism especially, I think is something that everyone has been planning and looking at. I was just in Pakistan last week, and even there, there's discussing prioritizing Buddhist tourism, which is going to open up a whole set of places to visit. And I think this linking places and going around and being able to also present ideas of Buddhism is again something that will hopefully improve this part of the world. Thank you very much.